listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Alive Again. That's right, Alive Again. What does that mean? It means that pets do reincarnate. Well, how do you know, you say? My name is Brent Atwater, and for 16 plus years, I've devoted my life to researching animal life after death and animal reincarnation. What, you say? Animals come back? Yep, they do. We have about 3 books on it. We have a Facebook group. You can call and listen to our radio archives on Pet Life Radio, and you will see that each show provides information or answers our listeners' questions about reincarnation. Now, the way we choose our questions is we have a big old bowl, and you send your email to brent@petliferadio.com. And we pick the questions that we think have the most educational value for our listeners because we want you to learn something every time you leave the show. We want you to go with just a little tidbit about reincarnation that expands your awareness. Now, what are we going to talk about today? Today is talking to pet heaven. Is it possible? Yep, pets are in the afterlife and you can talk to them. Now, a lot of people do it through animal communication. But we're going to teach you how to do it. And this is found in my book, Animal Reincarnation. We'll start with the transition process, and that's on page 28, and we'll go from 28 to 34 for those of you who are following along in our show. Now, where can you find this book? You can find Animal Reincarnation, Animal Life After Death, everything you want to know on Amazon, on Kindle, on Kobo Books, on iBooks. It's everywhere. If there is an ebook retailer in the world, we're on it. Otherwise, we're in your local store or just ask for it. If you can't find it there, go to www.justplainlovebooks.com and you can find a space to order it there. All right. Now, let's start with transition. Transition is not a happy subject, but it's something that we need to address, and we're going to go through this slowly and address the effects that transition has on your pet's body. First of all, one of the things that you'll notice when an animal is getting ready to cross to the other side is that its soul's love for you and wanting to stay with you conflicts with your love for it and wanting to let your pet go. Now, what does that mean in real words? Well, what it means in real words is you don't want Fido to go anywhere and Fluffy really doesn't want to die, but it's a process that has to happen. And the thing that you need to remember most of all is death is not forever. It's just for a little while. And you're going, oh, please, I'm looking, he's dead, I don't believe it. Well, for those of us who believe in reincarnation, death is the first step in coming back to you. Now, when your animal is preparing to pass, and this is usually within the last 24 to 48 hours as their stay on Earth, here's some of the things that you're going to notice. Your pet will walk away from you. You know how they normally come and be close to you? Well, they will walk away from you and stay away from you. A lot of times your pet will not look you in the eyes. And this is a time when you're really trying to look in your pet's eyes to create that soul connection. And your pet's going to look away because what they're trying to do is to have an energetic break in the soul connection so they can transition more easily to the other side. Another thing they'll do is they will avoid their normal personal contact habits with you. Like a cat who normally sits in your lap, he'll go stay on the other side of the den or be under your bed. A dog who normally sleeps beside you, he may be choosing to sleep on the floor or in the bathroom now because he's planning on leaving. Another thing they'll do is literally stay in another room away from you. That's because your love pull is so strong that it holds the body's energy there, and they have to disconnect from that to electromagnetically transfer to the other side. Now, this is a change that a lot of people have mentioned that I think is really interesting. Sometimes you'll see your pet sitting at a window or a door, and it's like they're staring out as if they're memorizing their last earthly view. Well, here's the sad part. They really are. They're actually getting a picture of Earth and memorizing it within their soul. And that's something that you're going to see, and you'll just go, wonder why they're staring out the window. Well, that's why. Now, one of the things you do not want to have during this death process, and a lot of people do, is a guilt. What do you mean by guilt? Well, you weren't there when he passed away, or, oh, you didn't do enough. All of this we're going to address in another show, but the bottom line is this. An animal has scripted exit points. And you're going, scripted exit points? What in the world does that mean? It means that what you and your animal decided before you come to Earth are how they're going to pass, because this is learning opportunities for your soul and growth opportunities for their soul. So no death is an accident, and the scenario surrounding that death is not an accident. It's exactly as it should have been for the lessons and the learning opportunities that you each came here to experience. All right, now we're moving into 24, 48 hours before a pet passes. 24 to 48 hours before a pet passes, they start withdrawing their life force energy from their exterior energy field and into their body. And a lot of hospice nurses will notice this even in hospitals. But if you can see an energy field, your animal's aura will diminish. And in our new book, it teaches you how to see your animal and see their aura. And it also teaches how to see your animal in steam form, which means how to see your animal on the other side. Okay? But the aura or the energy field of an animal starts diminishing 24 to 48 hours before it crosses the death line. And as this energy field contracts, it centers more and more in the heart area of your pet. But this causes physical problems, and here's what you'll see. Process starts with cold paws, cold feet, their ears start getting cold, their gums start getting pale, then their eyes become lackluster and soon non-responsive. And at that point in time, they're basically the electromagnetics of the body, or the life force energy, the spark that keeps it alive, leaves their physical body and transitions to the other side. Now, another thing that your pet will do before you go through this phase, and sometimes during this 24 to 48 hour window, is create what is known as a memory moment. And you're going, what? What is a memory moment? A memory moment is at some point in time, your pet will do something that is very tender and that is permanently etched in your heart. And it's their way of letting you know that they acknowledge your love, that they love you very much, but they've got to leave this incarnation and they've completed it and they're going to go. As example, we had a cat that was very sick, and the client's cat stayed across the other room and had stayed across the other side of the room for several months because it was so sick. Well, 48 hours before that cat passed, it came and sat in the owner's lap and purred for the first time during the process where it had been sick. And that was the memory moment. I had a little cat that came and slept beside me on the pillow the night before. Harry never, ever, ever slept beside me on the pillow. And I remember that morning saying to her, Harry, I'm so glad that you slept on the pillow beside me. She was a really fuzzy, beautiful Persian. And it was so nice because she was all warm and she was quiet and you could hear her purr. And I said to myself, this is interesting. She's 15 years old and she's never done this before. And then I had to go to an appointment. And I looked at Harry and I said, Harry, do you want to go outside? And she said, yes. And I said, okay. And then something inside of me said, no, don't let her out today. And then I looked at Harry and I said, Harry, do you really want to go out? And she meowed back at me. I went, okay, but be careful because I really don't think I should let you out today, but I'm going to because you want to go out. Well, she went out and she was killed and I never saw her again. And that was her way of creating a memory moment by sleeping with me that morning, something she'd never ever done before in her life. Now, another thing you can do while your pet is getting ready to transition, and we have a lot of people talk about this, and this is in addition to the memory moment, is you can help them cross to the other side. And one of the ways to help cross them is you say, from the love of my heart, I give you my life force energy to use as you so choose. Now let's say that again. From the love in my heart, I give you my life force energy to use as you so choose. And you can hold their little paws and tell them that, or you can tell them heart to heart. But one of the reasons you want to do this is because love is the strongest energy of all, and that love will encapsulate their energy as they leave the body, and it helps prevent horrific or heinous physical aberrations while they're crossing. So if they've been having seizures, usually the seizures will stop when you do that. Or if they have been really ill, they will stop manifesting to horrific physical problems, and their energy will just smooth out, and they'll very quietly slip to the other side when you say, I ask, and it is my intent from the love in my heart to send you my life force energy. So with that, we're going to take a break. We'll go to our sponsors, and we'll come back, and we'll talk to your pet in heaven.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Petco, where the pets go. Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right. But that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to petcodeals.com. That's petcodeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go. X-Power is a global brand that offers a complete line of stand dryers, cage dryers, and multiple blasters that cater to both home and professional groomers. Designed to be quiet, lightweight, and powerful, X-Power pet dryers will save you time, energy, and money. The X-Power B2 Pro at Home Dryer is the perfect holiday gift for family and friends. Please check out our holiday specials at viperpet.com and amazon.com. For more information, visit xpower.ws or call 855-855-8868.
I'm not much of a reader, but I do wish I were more well-read.
There are so many great books coming out. I wish I could find a way to keep up.
Audible.com makes it easy to stay well informed and catch up on your reading simply by listening. Audiobooks from Audible turn downtime into uptime. You'll be more productive and become well read.
Now I'm able to catch up on all the great books I've been wanting to read.
With Audible, I feel smarter.
Pet Life Radio listeners, try Audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com. That's audibledeals.com.
Pet Life Radio presents Paranormal Pets, where you can always expect the unexpected. Each week we'll discuss all aspects of weird or spiritual animal encounters, ghosts, totems, psychic animals, animal souls, animal angels, and animals in religion, with a little cryptozoology thrown in. Step into the supernatural world of pets with your Paranormal Pets ghostly host. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We're back, just like your pet. And by the way, we have had an overwhelming response to our Return from Rainbow Bridge poem. You can find that on my website, www.justplainlovebooks.com, and we're having it translated in French, Portuguese, Italian, Spanish, and Japanese. So if you want a copy of the Return from Rainbow Bridge, go on over to my website, www.justplainlovebooks.com, click on Poem, and that will give you a link to a downloadable, printable version for your copy of Return from Rainbow Bridge. And we feel that this tells the whole story. The original Rainbow Bridge poem just tells half the story. It puts Fluffy in heaven, it leaves him there, and you got to die to go join him. And Rainbow Bridge allows Fluffy to go to heaven, visit for a while, and then return and come on back to you. And that's what we believe in animal reincarnation. Now, how important is it for you to believe in animal reincarnation to talk to your pet on the other side? It's not. But if you want your animal to reincarnate, it is, because that way you have an open energy door to allow them to come back to you. So what you say is, when you want to talk to your pet in heaven, you say, I ask, and this is a question that you can ask your pet when it's on the other side. You say, I ask, and it is my intent to know if, we'll use the word Fluffy again, and I are going to be together in this lifetime. Fluffy, will you return to live with me again? And you usually ask that question 3 times. I ask, and it is my intent to know if Fluffy and I are going to be together in this lifetime. Fluffy, are you going to be with me again in this lifetime? Tell me now. And if you do that on several occasions, if you listen very quietly inside your heart, your pet will answer, because you'll hear a yes or a no or, I'm not sure. Well, if you hear an I'm not sure, it's probably because the decision to reincarnate is muted by your grief. I've had a lot of people on our Facebook reincarnation group, and we welcome you to join. Come on over. We have a lively discussion group there. On our Facebook reincarnation group, we talk about all sorts of subjects like orbs and pictures. And the other day we had a fabulous picture of a little dog, and the dog who was on the other side, the pet in heaven, transposed his image over the live dog. And we'll be putting that up on our blog soon. But it was just like, oh my goodness, it almost looked Photoshopped, and it wasn't. And we've had a lot of pictures where people have taken photographs of a chair that their cat was in, and all of a sudden there's an orb laying in the spot where the cat was, or there's the image and it looks like smoke or steam form laying in the spot where the old cat used to live. So we have found it's been really interesting to see photographs of pets from the other side that are showing up in steam form on your digital photographs. So come on over to our Animal Reincarnation group on Facebook. And we're always learning and always sharing. Now, back to talking to your pet. One of the things that's most important to say to your pet, and first of all, you really need to give up your grief, because grief blocks, that's right, it blocks you being able to talk with the pet. A lot of people say, well, just talk to an animal communicator and they'll be able to talk to your pet. Well, that's a possibility. But your pet may be shut down to them, because an animal communicator is only as good as the frequency bandwidth that they can attune to. So if Fluffy's station is 100 AM and the animal communicator only goes to 97 AM, your reading will be a little out of kilter. If Fluffy gets a reading from someone who can read station 100 AM, then you'll get a great reading from Fluffy. So an animal communicator taps into the animal's frequency, and depending upon whether they fully tap into it or just sort of walk around the edge of that frequency, that depends on how good of a reading that you will have. Now, here is an affirmation. It's a positive affirmation that you can use to talk to your pet and open the doors for communication. I celebrate your love and set my grief free so you can choose to come back and communicate to me. Okay, let's do that again. I celebrate your love and set my grief free so you can choose to communicate and to come back to me. So that's one of the things that what you're doing, it shows that you're setting aside your grief, which opens your mind and your heart to listening to the energy of your pet communicating with you. And it also allows you to remove any negative energy that your grief or your anger, most likely your anger or your guilt, has created a barrier for your pet to communicate with you. So if you, like an animal communicator does, you simply say, I ask, and it is my intent to talk to the energy formerly known as Fluffy now. And the reason you want to say formerly known as the energy Fluffy now is because that's what his life was when he was alive with you. He may want to come back and be known as Myrtle. That's right. Fluffy might want to be Myrtle. So you want to say, I ask, and it is my intent with a T, not a D. Because if you say intend with a D, that's like in Never Never Land, and it won't get done. If you say intent, that means it's happening now. So you say, I ask, and it is my intent to speak with the energy or to communicate with the energy formerly known as Fluffy now. And you say now because that activates Fluffy's energy on the other side. And if you're new at this and you just don't get it immediately, it normally takes about 2 weeks till you can do this because they're busy on the other side, and you can ask the questions in your heart and you listen to the answers in your heart. And a lot of times a pet death activates your ability to communicate with your pet. Now, if you think you can't, then you can't. That's Southern, you know. If you think you won't, then you won't, because your mind holds the key to the opening of the telepathic communication waves between you and your pet. Say that again. Your mind holds the key to your ability to telepathically communicate with your pet. Because remember, you're the mommy, you're the pet parent. You had the closest connection with that pet than anybody. Now, animal communicators are gifted people who have the ability to tap into animal frequencies. But you're the mommy, you're the pet parent. So you can activate and encourage talking to your pet in heaven by saying, I ask, it is my intent to talk to the energy previously known as Fluffy. And you say, Fluffy, will you talk to me today? And ask for a yes or a no. Because they might say, no, I'm busy chasing mice. Or, no, I'm out running in fields. You need to have the pet's permission to continue the communication. You're going, the pet's dead. Why do I need his permission? Well, the pet's energy is alive and well. And that is the permission you need to have, because you will be communicating telepathically with the energy of the living pet's soul force. Okay, say that again. The soul force energy is the living energy of your pet. That's what you're communicating with. And you will be tapping into that frequency, because that frequency is there. That's how the animal communicators can do it. So we're going to close today by saying, remember, I ask, and it is my intent to talk to the energy formerly known as Fluffy now. Then you can say, tell me what I need to know. They'll tell you if you just listen with your heart. Or if you want to see them, go to our book. It shows you how to see them in steam form, and say, show me what I need to see. The bottom line is you are connected to their energy, and yes, it's possible. There are pets in the afterlife, and you can talk to them in pet heaven. If you've got any questions, send your questions to Brent at Pet Life Radio, and we'll look forward to seeing you another time at another show. Go back in our archives. We have lots of information there, and I hope you'll take the time you can listen to us on the treadmill, while you're cooking dinner, while you're riding to work, while you're stuck in traffic. Pet Life Radio is the world's largest pet radio, and we want you to be able to see all our podcasts and go look at everything else they've got. It is just phenomenal with the information that's available. But if you want to know about animal life after death, that's me. And if you want to know about Fluffy coming back, come on and join us every week. We'll look forward to seeing you. And again, email your questions to Brent at Pet Life Radio. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.